Welcome back to This Week in the NPSL, special New Orleans edition. We're here with USASA President John Motta. My name is Willie Whitelaw. John, obviously World Cup draw this week, actually yesterday, a couple days ago. One name was missing, Obviously, talk to us a little bit about the changes you think needs to come in the U.S. soccer landscape from the top.
Well, of course, we were all disappointed with the USA not qualifying for the World Cup. Of course, it was a total disappointment for the country, but more so for us soccer lovers in the country. Well, we're at a crossroads right now where, of course, we have a big election coming up for a U.S. president, for U.S. soccer president. We have 7 candidates that have announced thus far. We have another week, and a lot could happen the other week. But, I think that we are at a time and a place in soccer where, change is needed. We need some new ideas. We need some new passion into the game. And, not to take anything away from what has been done in the past, because U.S. soccer has grown tremendously in the last, 10, 12, 15 years. I've been around pretty much all my life, and I've seen from, where we had to beg and borrow money to get national teams to games to where we are today with $150 million in the bank. But, having new blood coming in and new people with different ideas and different strategies is something that probably U.S. soccer could use today. And, in 2 months we'll have the election, and, we'll see what the people want. But from what we've seen is people want to change, people want some new ideas, and this is probably the right time to get it done.
Where do you see kind of the NPSL and the big picture of scheme of so many leagues? Obviously, you run the amateur game, oversee it. Where do you see the NPSL really fitting?
Well, as I've mentioned here in New Orleans, and the USASA board did approve the tier system, which we're still working through with the leagues. But I see the NPSL as probably, definitely a tier 1 league within our tier system. They've been around for so many years. They've grown this league with some very passionate owners that I've seen in the room and this whole weekend. So, I do see the NPSL as being one of the top tier leagues in the country. I know there are other competing leagues that are also members of USASA that probably fit in that tier also. But, once we cross all the T's and dot the I's and find out where everybody belongs and where everybody wants to be, I mean, a lot of it is where do these leagues want to be. Hopefully we'll get that all sorted out in the next couple of months and be ready to roll in 2018.
Fantastic. One final question, John. Just give us kind of a message, as the president of the USASA, just give a message to kind of the supporters of amateur soccer lovers in this country as it continues to grow leaps and bounds.
Well, one thing I say is they've got my commitment as the president of USASA and a board member of US Soccer, that in my heart, and everybody who knows me knows I speak from the heart, that the amateur game definitely has a special place in my heart, and it will always be there. I grew up as a little kid on the amateur soccer fields with my dad. My referee career came through the amateur game. So I know how important the amateur game and the adult men's game is in the landscape of U.S. soccer. I just got to convince a few other people the importance of it and get U.S. soccer and to give it its respect that it deserves. I'll be totally honest. I really feel that there's been a little bit of a lack of respect for U.S. adult soccer in the last few years. But, again, with change in leadership and change in philosophies, I can see U.S. adult soccer, getting back on the platform it belongs.
Thanks for your time, John. Really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
And more to come from This Week in the NPSL from New Orleans.